Hollywood, it's another hit-packed parade of the nation's hottest sounds in American Top 40. I'm Shadoe Stevens, and every week we count down the biggest hits on radio and sold in music stores direct from Billboard magazine. What's that old saying, behind every man is a good woman? Is that sexist? Is that un-90s? It's really true for the guy at number 12, John Cicada. John told us about the lady who really helped launch his career. And it all started when she invited him to join her tour. I think you've heard of her. Her name is Gloria Estefan.
She asked me to do the tour, Gloria herself, since I have been involved with the record so much. And then she gave me a solo opportunity in the show, which actually was very, very pivotal in my career. Because the record company saw me live and heard me sing live, and luckily they were impressed, and they wanted to definitely sign me up from that moment on. And also they heard my demo, but touring with Gloria and the response that I got touring with her was really, really important for my career. I'm always be thankful for her to give me the opportunity to do that.
John Cicada's now spent 25 weeks in the top 40 with Just Another Day. That ties the AT40 record for solo men held by Paul Davis. Remember Paul Davis and his hit from 1978, I Go Crazy? Holding at number 12, that's John Cicada, who listens to the countdown in Miami on WHYI Y100.
American Top 40.
I'm Shadoe Stevens, and we've arrived at ultimate chart moment, the crowning of a new number one. It's by an American group who've rewritten a bit of chart history. They now become the top male American group of the rock era on the singles chart. Until now, the top male American group on the singles chart was a quartet from New Jersey led by singer Frankie Valli. Altogether, they had 29 top 40 hits, including 5 number one songs. They're the Four Seasons. Well, now another male American group surpasses the Four Seasons on the singles chart. They haven't had as many number ones, only 2, plus a new one this week. But their total number of top 40 hits, which is now 31, has earned them more points overall. They're a band from a big Midwestern city that's known as the Windy City. It was named for an American Indian word meaning the place of the wild onion, Chicago. The group Chicago first hit the top 40 back in 1970 and kept right on going through the 70s and 80s. And this week, they hit the top for the third time and blow past the Four Seasons to become the top male American group of the rock era. The new number one in the USA is by Chicago, Look Away. Look Away by Chicago. It's the new number one song, and it's their third number one hit in 19 years of hitting the chart. And that brings us to the number one song here on American Top 40. It's the first top 40 hit by a woman who got her start in show business as a cheerleader for the Los Angeles Lakers basketball team, a Laker girl. And then she became a top choreographer for videos. And now this 24-year-old singer, dancer, and former Laker girl goes straight up and slam dunks the pop music world. The new number one song in the USA is by Paula Abdul, Straight Up. Which brings us back to the pop chart and the most successful act from Oklahoma in 40 years, since a singer from Muskogee named Patti Page. These guys from Oklahoma City just received 6 nominations for American Music Awards, and now they have their second number one in a row. The first number one song in the USA for 1992 is by Color Me Bad, All for Love. Meanwhile, back here at the top of the pop chart, we've got a band who first hit the countdown a little over a year ago. And these 4 guys were originally known for their makeup. They're a glam rock band, originally from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, who started putting on makeup, frizzing out their hair, and then moved to Los Angeles. And now their 5th top 40 hit goes to the top. The new number one song is by Poison, Every Rose Has Its Thorn.
American Top 40.
You're listening to American Top 40, the song setting hearts aflutter and feet a-flying across the floors of the USA. I'm Shadoe Stevens. And right here, right now, we've arrived. The peak of pop popularity, the number one song in the USA. A song by a star born and bred in Britain, in the English town of Birmingham. But the sounds of American rhythm and blues and soul course through this lad's veins, inspiring him to early stardom on the British and American charts in bands like the Spencer Davis Group, Blind Faith, Traffic, and then solo. Finally, just a few years ago, he made the move to America, settling down in Nashville, where he soaked up some more of that Southern soul firsthand. And it's taken him right to the top. For the third week in a row, the number one song in the USA is by Steve Winwood. Roll with it. I'm Shadoe Stevens. This is American Top 40, and you know where we are now. number one. And it ties the record for fastest climbing number one in AT40 history. Just last year, Michael Jackson set the record. Black or White took only 3 weeks to hit the top. Well, now another song has roared into number one in just its third week. And get this, the new number one song is a remake. But not just any remake, mind you. It's a remake of a song Michael Jackson sang. It was number one in 1970 for the Jackson 5, and now that song is back on top again, sung by a woman who was born that year. The new number one song in America is I'll Be There by Mariah Carey. Number one in just 3 weeks. The sixth number one for Mariah Carey. You're listening to American Top 40. I'm Shadoe Stevens, and we are here. The pinnacle of pop, the grand prize number one. And the man on top this week is a singer, songwriter, producer, and musician from Miami. And at the age of 32, he's had 4 smaller hits, including I Want to Be the One and In My Eyes. So what was it like for him when he actually hit the top last week?
My manager called me and said, this. Oh, yeah, another thing, you're number one this week. I'm like, another thing, I'm number one this week? He just put it in passing. He said, yeah, you're number one. So we said, well, is it confirmed yet? We were calling around. All the radio had to make the reports and this and that. And it was confirmed, and it was incredible. There is no other feeling. I mean, you work in this business to be number one, and then all of a sudden you reach it. It's a hell of a feeling.
For a second week in a row, the number one song in the USA is Because I Love You by Stevie B.